U.S. Assistant Secretaries of State Tom Malinowski and Nisha Biswal arrived in the country today on an official visit. The duo are scheduled to meet Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe tomorrow and will also meet senior ministers and parliamentarians during their visit to Sri Lanka.
U.S. Assistant Secretary of State for Democracy, Human Rights and Labour Tom Malinowski arrived in the country early this morning. Later, U.S. Assistant Secretary of State for South and Central Asian Affairs Nisha Biswal arrived in the country on a two-day official visit. The two U.S. Assistant Secretaries of State met with Foreign Affairs Minister Mangala Samaraweera this evening in Colombo.
Sri Lanka itself has been on a remarkable trajectory of addressing not only the internal issues that have challenged it, but also of engaging with the broader international community in a spirit of partnership and dialogue. And the United States has welcomed a deepening of the ties between our two countries.
Without a peace dividend, it will be harder to pursue reconciliation. But reconciliation is also advanced, as we have seen in country after country in the world, where people can come together rather than allowing themselves to be split apart. And I think in a larger sense, this reminds us why what is happening in Sri Lanka is so important to people all over the world. Because if you look at what's happening in the world today, there's obviously not a lot of good news to be found. But a lot of the problems that we see are rooted in something that Sri Lanka knows all too well, in this contest between the politics of division and the politics of common ground. We've seen, unfortunately, in many places around the world that it is easier to win in politics by making simple appeals to racial or religious or national pride than by doing the hard work of governing. Easier sometimes to blame others for our problems than to take responsibility ourselves. In that way, you can distract people from your own failures and lack of vision.